Hi everyone. If today is April 2nd, weekly analysis. Quarter ended, Q1 ended 2022. Bitcoin is still not sure what to do. However, we are able to find out some key resistance at which it's reacting. And I think I was expecting decisive move this week. In fact, by end of the month, but yeah, but right now it's at edge. Sorry, edge. My bad. It's on an edge. Tongue twister. But I think it's not far from its final decision, in my opinion. Looking at the setup, so we'll look at intraday setup first. Maybe I'll start with 1 hour and then go higher all the way to 1 month. And also I'm going to go at quarter because quarter ended. It makes sense to see because I do analyze at quarterly level. So I would like to share what I noted. Okay, so we'll start with 1 hour and go higher in time frame. 1 hour. I'll remove this for clarity. Firstly, this 48k approximately, this level is critical. Now it's proven. There's no doubt about it, right? It tried hard. If you look at number of attempts and consolidation below 48k, like it really worked hard. Then it gave up, retraced, but this retracement was at acceptable level. Remember, I had mentioned the intraday 44k is not a problem. So 44k was hit. This is not a problem. Then got a good bounce, and then there were this yellow dot is just an interim resistance, very like intraday resistance, to just to let you know that okay, bounce is amazing, but there are some resistance at intraday level which need to be broken above. So though this is a good attempt, I see a new pattern emerging at low time frame, which I'll extend and show it to you. Okay, where this particular piece of move is a mid level, and what I'm seeing here is it's creating this trend line. Okay, right now this trend line depict with the orange line as a resistance. I'll remove the yellow dot, not need. This is how I'm seeing right now. It's kind of created. So this is the left hand side. I'm expecting a symmetry. Symmetry is what? Something similar to the left hand side. It's always like that because this is the chart in the x-axis is on time dimension, so there's always a right hand side to be formed. And what I'm seeing here is it looks like it's going to go with very boring, very boring, consolidation like this. The length of this consolidation should be equal to the length of the consolidation on the left side, but the direction would be, or likely I should say, is likely to be in this downside, where the orange line is going to be the ceiling, the upper bound, okay, the resistance. There could be some spike here and there, right? So but I think you got the idea here. And I may extend this pattern by adding a parallel line like this, where I would connect this and try to make it as parallel as possible. And this could be actually like this. And see, this zigzag thing is just to get an idea. Okay, it could be like this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. So it could be like anything, like, so the zigzag, this is not exact path. I think the idea is what we see here on left zigzag pattern on the left hand side, we are likely to see that kind of zigzag pattern over here. And this is just to illustrate that there could be couple of touches on the upper side or or on the lower side. So we have upper bound and a lower bound, under which, within which, we are expecting price to move for at least 3-4 days. Seems boring. If it breaks above, that will be very, very, very interesting for me. You will see this formation in a miniature, but a miniature version, but in an inverted way. Very interesting. If you are interested, let me show you this one. This is left, it's not the exact as I said, but you see this particular piece, the hump, this is the centerpiece. What you see is the left hand side and the right hand side. This is more, this is prolonged, pretty longer. I mean, this is different, but something like this is a bigger version, but an inverted version with there's instead of a hump like this, there's kind of a valley, you know. So that's the difference, but the pattern is kind of similar. Essentially what I'm trying to say is the upper bound, maybe I should keep the color different, you know. So when I think it's okay, I can always say lower orange line and up. Right, so this is 1 hour, this is the pattern. So mentally be prepared that it could drag like this for few days if this pattern is valid. So if when this pattern will be invalidated, okay, when 47,300 is broken above, basically. Why? Because then it will be out of this parallel line or channel, down channel, right, descending channel. So when somewhere here this pattern will be broken, and in that case we could see something which would like in that case it will consolidate on the higher side and then eventually goes up. So something like this, that's something and I would draw a line. I'll make it a round number, and yeah. So either we see consolidation in this descending channel, the orange channel, or maybe I should make this also different color, so language wise there's no ambiguity, right? Either, so it maybe it will follow this blue path within the orange channel or go for the yellow, right? This is what I'm saying. So this is a roadmap for you. So anything about this, then we are looking for I think quicker breakout, and this could be a potential. So this is kind of a neutral pattern in my opinion, and this could go down like this, break down, because this is descending in nature. If it is able to break above 47300, then some consolidation like here and then break above. This is the bullish scenario and this is the bearish scenario. However, it is possible, so right now it's impossible to say, to be honest, that whether this will really break down unless it, you know, taps this for, let's say, third time in this case. So I would do something different, that we'll have a checkpoint in couple of days. Of course BTC daily is always there to update, right? But I would connect this and say, okay, now this is consolidating and this could lead to the upper breakout on the upside like this, and then connect with this pattern and goes up, right? So I think this is simple, very simple, The consolidation could, let me summarize, consolidation could go within this channel in a descending manner, and if it touches here and keeps coming here, then it could break down and goes below. Otherwise, if it tries to break above and then break above 47300, let's say, because I would like this to be broken above and then goes up, and this is the upside breakout. Okay, and this breakout from here also it could go up, which we'll have to see, but I'm connecting from here because I would like to see this yellow level 47300 to be broken above, then only I would say this is possible. So I think this is what I'm seeing at this moment on low time frame, right? And let's see how it goes, and I'll be updating anyway. So I'm going to keep these drawings so you would know exactly how this wave is progressing, right? You'll get to know. Right, this is at a 1 hour, and I think it is needed, in my opinion, to understand what is happening in 1 hour when we are at a critical level like this. Any major decision level requires low time frame analysis, in my opinion, to see what is happening. It's like you see there is a volcano, active volcano, and you see some kind of readings. I mean, you gather some readings where it might, burst anytime. So what you would like to see, you would like to inspect by getting in or nearby as much as possible before eruption. So that's what we do. We go at a low time frame to see what is the eruption time, you know. So that's the analysis. So this is 1 hour. Now I think 12 hour can be skipped because this is messy. If you look at this, is messy. Right? What I would like to, so I'll just hide the drawing. What I would like, so this is another pattern which I posted because we added so much of drawing and remove the yellow circle. um, I don't want to add one more, but maybe some, yeah, maybe we can use this layout. So basically we don't want this to happen. We don't want this to be, so when it bounced, this bounce is equivalent to this. Okay, when it came down, I thought maybe it will follow this pattern, very steep, like kind of a inverted v structure. So this could have ended up with a downside move. And very interestingly, there is a symmetry in this one. This is what I was, but this pattern didn't occur. Okay, you can imagine, you can visualize, like this is like a step pyramid, the Mayan pyramid, except this is little higher, but this is something like that. Not, I think this is like more like Giza. Yeah, anyways, but you got the idea, right? That's more important. So I was expecting something like this, not desire, but expecting from a pattern point of view, right? I would like Bitcoin to go up because it's good for business. I don't mind, and also it's good for me because I cannot trade on a short side. So even for personal reason, upside is better. Anyways, so yeah, so this was the pattern which didn't happen, but you know what, the this flavor could end up with this flavor. So what might happen in that case, this could get shifted like this, you see, and something like this. Why? Because then we are talking about a replica or fractal of this in this case. This is important point to be noted. Okay. So you see what we have seen. We talked about 1 hour for this particular segment. Okay. When we are talking about 12 hours at this moment, we are now expanding the pattern, and we are saying if it goes down from a 1 hour point of view, how it will progress, and this is how it might progress. Okay. And of course, if in 1 hour we saw if it goes up, then this is of no use. We know that. So, and we know the boundary. We know the boundary, which is 447,300, right? 47,300. So it's very clear. So the patterns are conditional. This is to be understood, right? Patterns are always conditional, and there are levels which will invalidate. So whenever anyone talks about pattern, you have to know which level will invalidate, because not all patterns complete, right? For an example, head and shoulder is being formed, let's say, somewhere. Not necessary it will always complete. Maybe the left shoulder is complete, maybe the head is complete, but the right shoulder may not form, and it may not go down to the uh, a line, and then I mean the what we call support line, or I forgot the term. uh, it will come next time. But anyway, um, and it may not complete, right? So it may not it's so we have to know the level where the pattern might get invalidated. So so this is the 12 hour. Okay, the same is for 1 day. Anyways, in short, we don't want this to happen over here, right? um since I must draw a green arrow as well, to otherwise it's not fair, right? It's not that I'm expecting only this. So green arrow must be added, right? But you can clearly see there, these are point of rejections. These are point of rejections, right? So it's very important that ultimately the C48 48,000 is the ultimate one. We want this level to be tracked, and we don't want to be hurry. That's what I've been saying this. Some of you got it, some of you might be thinking why this guy is saying, but now after this drop, at least you're not doubting that this was a valid resistance. And it's tricky one, let me tell you, because these were the highs, and it could have gone down. You know what, I was expecting earlier this pattern to be formed over here, but because of this move everything changed. And things are dynamic in TA. You have to assess, because one big move changes the pattern, and you have to again go to the drawing board and see what it is trying to do. So it's not that when once you identify a pattern, then it is, you have to track it and track until it's invalidated. So I was expecting when it was forming this, because these patterns are reoccurring patterns. I've seen these patterns so many times in my study and research and practical experience. So when there is a specific wave shape, I would know what the next one would be, and then next one would be, and so on. So it's a live analysis, and that gives me a different time frame. Definitely, you can see to 12 hours, everything is different than 1 hour, right? The whole entire thing is different. But this is how you do. You go at the lowest level, and then go higher and higher and higher, because different trader investor operate at different levels. So we started with 1 hour, now we are slowly going up. So now we can see that, um yeah, so I was saying that this could have happened because of this didn't happen. And and then when it went down, this pattern could have uh happened, but because of this bounce it's not happening. So now we are saying, so why I changed this to blue, this is to indicate that this pattern could end up with this kind of a pattern. Okay, that's why it's blue. There is a reason. There's a reason. Anyways, so this is 12 hours, so you and 1 day. Now we'll go at a weekly. We are using Bitstamp for weekly. Why? Where is my Bitstamp? I was on Bitstamp. No. Ah, wow. I closed. Let's not see here. Oh, this. What is happening? Oh, I was on Bitstamp. I didn't realize I used Bitstamp. I shouldn't have used it. But yeah, no worries. Let's see how bad this is. So no, not a problem. It hasn't disturbed a lot, but let me do one thing. I hate them. Okay, so we have clarity on weekly. Same chart, but now weekly. Now this is very different. Very different. Here information is the levels are totally different. Okay, this is upper bound, lower bound. Nothing changed. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This is weekly. I'm going to extend a little more to show. This is to be tracked. You can draw on your local chart. You connect this low, June low, right? And then July low. Connect that with January low and extend. Very easy. You do that and keep an eye on a weekly time frame, right? If you're interested, because to me this setup is important. This is important. Now, very interestingly, this particular move, last week move, has actually changed the I would say weightage. Now it's weighing more on the upper side, higher side. Why I removed the dotted line? I had a dotted line here. Why dotted line? It got deleted somehow. Anyways, let's add back. Now we can see that this was a midline. Remember, we had this earlier because this is upper bound, lower bound, and this is a midline. When it rejected, it bounced off the midline. Positive, very positive. It also means that we don't want this to be broken below 43, 42K level, right? Approximately this level on a weekly level, maybe 41K. So 41K to 53K, because there are little spikes and all that. I would say 41K. We have one level on Binance. I think that is around 41,000 something. That is important. So that will be a red flag, an immediate alert. So as long as it's above 41K, I don't think anyone should be worrying on a trend level. On a lower time frame, it is going to dance around. Okay, we're not talking. We are on weekly, so totally different strategy, totally different mindset is required. You have to leave what we have done on 1 hour, or I mean, on a daily time frame, 1 day time frame. It's totally different when we talk about weekly. Weekly is all about macro trend, right? Long term trend, weekly and monthly, correct? So that's why when we look at weekly, what we are saying is 41K to be watched. As long as it's above 41K, you don't worry. Okay. And of course, this the same level, required level, it doesn't change weekly, and this is more conservative number. 53K is a more conservative number. From this pattern point of view, I would like this high to be broken, then I'll get final confirmation. This 48K plus is good enough, but ultimately the final stamp is needed by getting 53K. So very simple. So the first 41K to 43K level is the most important level. Then you add orange line on your local chart, super simple, right? And if it is broken, then I don't know. I mean, when I don't know means it could bounce from any level, but I think we have to start taking care of this, but specific risk starting below this. This is about downside. Let's talk about upside because we talked enough about downside. So this we are talking about upside now. As I said, now when it dipped, I thought the bears are back, but now on a weekly level, I would say the bulls are still in control because that perspective changes when you look at different time frame. On a weekly, because it's above mid level, we are not talking about downside probability. The probability of breaking above is high on a weekly time frame. Okay, but this is just a chance because it hasn't happened. 48K, this is little tricky. You might be thinking it's above weekly, why this resistance at 48K? Yeah, I mean, the this is a the midline is telling you the balance, but this resistance is kind of giving you permission. So it's different methodology, right? This 48K is from my own method, my own research. So you may say this is the midline is just give you idea because you can see that it dipped over here. I mean, there was a spike, and it this spike was up to here. This was here. So the midline is not going to give you exact level, but my TA gives you the exact level, very precise. The midline, it is more like a band here. It is more like a band than a line because of multiple spikes. This is more like a band because you have to cover all these spikes. Right? Maybe you see you can extend up to this. That's why this is just to give this is more visual representation. The upper bound, lower bound, and the mid band that you see is more visual representation, indicating that now we are much BTC is much stronger position. That's the idea. And these levels are my TA, result of my TA. So that's why it's here. Okay, that's clarification. So this weekly is super simple. Let's look at monthly now. Monthly, okay. Now the bull case, what is the next level you would be thinking? So that I had to fine tune this one. I'm not in a hurry, but when I talk about new all-time high, that means I'm talking about, let's say, 77K here. I have on this chart 77K, and we'll always have higher level, which I'll anyway provide you, right? So that's the next level once it breaks above. Okay, in that case, this will expand and provide the trend support, and this it's kind of an up, not a channel though, but we can draw something like this on a higher side. Look at the solid line and the upper orange line. This is lower up orange line. This is upper orange line, and in that case, somewhere here, 70s. I should remove this. Somewhere in 70s, depends on in which month, like it hits, right? But somewhere here in 70s is the next level. This is where it will react. So you will expect it to retrace after hitting the upper orange line and then look for high level. Okay, but we'll assess as and when it hits. But at this moment you can say these are the two next resistance, and after that the upper orange is likely to be the next resistance. Again, like this upper orange line level is approximate level. I'll provide more accurate level when it as and when it progresses. At this moment, this is good enough for you to understand that it will be 70 plus, in my opinion, right? Once this is broken. Now the downside pattern is more like a rounded pattern over here, which is like a curve like this. Okay. In that case, it would follow something like this. And upside, as I said, I should justify. And I should keep this visibility on monthly so it doesn't get in between. This tool is really good. I like it. They thought a lot about how like they are really amazing. They thought through everything. Very responsive as well. Okay, so in that case, we don't want yellow to be formed. So we saw 1 hour, we saw 12 hours, we saw weekly, and this is monthly where it will extend further. Very simple. These are the two levels. We don't have to think about this at this moment. Right? This is just projection, and I should make this a dotted line because this is not that saying it is happening. And this orange line, I think green level makes sense. This is good. I hope this gives you clarity on monthly, right? And we should look at quarterly now because quarter ended. So hold on, let me see why quarterly. Hmm, hold on. Okay, I'm trying to find out uh, version where I have quarterly stuff. Wait a minute. Mm, yeah, I have it here. Right, so this is quarterly chart, okay, on Bitstamp only. So this requires a little different perspective. Okay, let me explain to you. This chart like starts from year 2011. Um, this has one particular phase missing, but that's all right. Like 2009, 8 to 2009 onwards, phase is missing, which is all right. We don't have to go that much in past. So this is second bull run. Maybe I'll just show you here on BLX. This was the first one. Okay, this is the first one. Maybe I can use this. It's okay. This is the first one. Then a drawdown, correction. A second one, correction. Third one, correction. Fourth one is going on, and now correction plus consolidation. Right. This is how the this is entire like price. This is like everything. Last 12 years of data. right? You can see there were four main legs: one, two, three, and four, and this is consolidation. Now there can be one more leg, the fifth one, and in my opinion, the last one, or this could be the top and then go down. In my opinion, there is a correction coming up. Now this I'm talking from a quarterly point of view, okay? So you have to think differently. The correction at a 12-hour time frame, I mean the wave level, the whole entire life cycle level, whatever correction and the cycle people talked about is all about the bull run, all about those four bull runs I mentioned, right? So this bull run started from here, December 2018. This was COVID fall out. I call retest of this in that case, but the bull run started, let's say, in January 2019, right? And then it is still going on. In as part of that bull run, this was the first correction, and this was the second. There are two corrections. Okay, over here there were small corrections. So nature of this is was totally different. This was for around 2 years, and this was steeper. You can see steeper and a taller. This is this is flattening compared to this. This is the first one is this is vertical, and this is, let's say, at 80 this is 80 degree for an example, right? And then if you look at this angle is changed, and then this is at 45 degree, let's say, or 50 degrees. So what you're observing here is it is making a rounding top. This is very important to understand, that if you connect this, there is a top, there is a rounding top. Rounding top is a sign of it's a top out condition or formation, where you can see it is getting out of steam month over month. I'm not sure if anyone is talking about this. I have mentioned this earlier, and here I would like to repeat it, right? We have some new users, and probably if you have not noticed. So this is very important. This is like a super macro, whatever name you want to call, where we are not talking about this bull run. We're talking about whole entire wave, where I'm not saying this is going to start here. As I said, there can be another leg on the upside potentially. Okay, and we talked about that. In that case, the top would could be little different like this. It could be at 100k, 120k, or it might stretch up to 200k. Who knows? We'll see. Point is, there could be another leg on the upside, fine, or there is no leg, and that's it. This is end of the story, and we talk about deeper correction, much deeper, much deeper than many people would probably think of, right, in that, because this correction, all this correction that happened, right, was at a wave level. This sorry, phase level. So this is like a first phase, second phase, third phase, and fourth. All this correction were I'm talking about 12-year chart, where you put whole entire thing into single wave. So we don't have to dissect. Consider this whole entire thing as one wave, and that wave level correction hasn't happened yet. And I'm talking about that first major correction, which hasn't happened, which is likely to happen at 100k, around 100k plus. We'll see. It could go up to 200 also, but we'll be able to figure out. In short, right now it's not that 100k, 200k. That number is not important. I would emphasize there can be another leg on the upside, right? Another leg on the upside, and from that leg, that correction might happen. Okay, so, or simply put, if it starts going down, then that correction could even begin from this level. In that case, this could be the top, and it could go pretty deep. um, Again, I don't have to talk about how deep, but pretty deep, not in 20s. So it all depends on how, what it does, whether it breaks above 48k and go for the new all-time high, then we don't talk about this macro correction. Okay, then we'll talk maybe next year, right? Because then the whole entire year will be like another bull run, right? In that case, we don't talk about downside, but next year we have to in that case. But that's far, so we don't have to. But in case if it starts going down and break below 29k, then I think we have to be very serious about what how it again. I will not say 10k right away, because it doesn't do like that. It will go up to 28k, and then 24k, 18k, and then we'll see. So I would not go for the extreme level on the downside. So this is my take. I know, but as I said, we don't have to assume anything. We'll go by the levels, right? But this mega correction hasn't happened, and it will happen. Whether it will happen on 200k, 150k, 100k, or starting from now, and we'll be able to figure it out. That's not a problem. We'll try to be a step ahead, so you won't be surprised. That's for sure. That will be my attempt, sincere attempt. Okay. With that note, I end this Bitcoin analysis pretty long, so I will break this into two parts from a recording point of view, and take your question, and then move on to the alts, like usual stuff, right? So I'm stopping here.